Hey guys, it's Tyler from Peregrine, and we're back with another episode of Thank God It's Happy Hour. This time we're doing another drink you should know, and it's the Boulevardier. It's a classic, it's from Paris, it was during Prohibition, and then we're also going to do a variation from around the same time. So let's get going. Okay, so a little bit of a history lesson. Both of these cocktails are Prohibition era cocktails, and they're both from Europe. So at the time when America was banning alcohol and, cracking down on all these sources of vice in its society, everyone else in the world was happily consuming alcohol and, doing their thing. So these are both cocktails that came from Europe, but were from American sources. So one is a writer, one's a bartender. We'll get to that later. The Boulevardier originates in Paris. A lot of people attribute it to a guy named Erskine Gwyn, who ran a publication conveniently called the Boulevardier. So he was making this drink, making it for other people, so when they finally put it to paper, they attributed to this guy. So it's a simple 1:1:1 ratio of sweet vermouth, Campari, and bourbon. We are swapping out our Campari for a local equivalent. We're going to use the Amaro from Woods Spirit Company up in North Vancouver. It's very similar, has a lot of the same notes, so I think it's going to work great. And then we're also using another local favorite, Odd Society Spirits Bittersweet Vermouth, which is going to take the place of our sweet vermouth. So here we go. Let's get it started. We're going to measure out an ounce each of our spirit. So we got an ounce of our sweet vermouth. That's not bourbon, but this is. We've got an ounce of our bourbon, and we've got an ounce of our Amaro. And we're going to grab some ice, and we're going to add our cocktail in here. Grab our bar spoon, and we're going to stir it up. So by stirring it, we're diluting the cocktail, chilling it out, and preparing it to pour into our glass. We've got a coupe here, and we're just gonna pour it right out. So this drink didn't originally come with a garnish. If you wanted to garnish it with lemon or orange, that would probably be appropriate, but I'm just gonna try it as it is. Here we go. Ooh, it's wonderful. It's got a long evolution, and there's all these different flavors coming in, but at the right times. It's not too bitter, it's not too sweet, it's not too spirit forward. It's definitely one that's balanced out and is perfect. It's the nice before dinner cocktails. I think a perfect time to enjoy a Boulevardier. The ingredients that we have here, there's almost this pleasant bitter chocolate note right at the end, but depending on the ingredients you use, it might be a little bit different. So there you go. There's the Boulevardier. The second cocktail we've got up is sort of a distant cousin of the Boulevardier. The ingredients are quite different, but I think the end profile is quite similar. This is a drink that came out of London, out of the Savoy Hotel American Bar, it was called. The head bartender there, Ada Coleman, somebody came in by the name of Charles Hawtrey looking for a drink, and she said, "I got you." And apparently, when he tried this drink, he turned around and took his first sip and said, "By Joe, that's the real Hanky Panky." And that's exactly how he said it. No embellishment whatsoever. And, if you say that sort of thing, that is going to become the name of the drink. So, let's get going. The ratios are a little bit different. We're going to start with 1.5 ounces of sweet vermouth. 1.5 ounces of gin. For this one, we're using Tempo's dry gin, another BC favorite. And we're going to do 2 dashes, or in my case, bar spoons of this. It's called Fernet Branca. It's an Italian liqueur that's actually very popular in Argentina. It's quite bitter. It's a very bracingly bitter sort of liqueur. So a little bit definitely goes a long way. Once we're happy here, we're just going to add it to our ice. Grab our bar spoon, and we're going to stir it up. And similar situation as before, we're going to grab our coupe, grab our strainer, and strain it out. Now, originally this cocktail did not come with a garnish, similar to the Boulevardier, but we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of orange. It's going to nicely complement the ingredients that we have, and it is an occasional garnish that people use. So again, squeeze it over the surface of the drink and drop it right in. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, you get that orange right off the bat. Yeah, shockingly similar. So it sort of starts off a little bit like a martini, which makes sense. It's got sweet vermouth instead of dry, but vermouth and gin. So it's a very sort of familiar taste, but then the evolution is quite similar actually to the Boulevardier, which we have over there. If we do a side by side, you can see they're quite close in color. And yeah, I think they are bona fide distant cousins. And it's interesting to see two drinks that incorporate bitter flavors, which usually comes with a little bit of a brighter general tone for the drink, but it incorporates the bitterness with ingredients like whiskey and ingredients like sweet vermouth, which gives it a very interesting contrast. It's definitely an interesting drink to sip on, has a nice long evolution, and definitely keeps you engaged as you're drinking it. So there you go. That's another 2 classics, drinks you need to know. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And otherwise, we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.